Hey everybody, this is Dave Young. I'm just here to talk a little bit about the Announcr hardware kind of setup experiment I was running yesterday. So here I have an Amazon Fire TV stick, and it's connected to an HDMI audio extractor, which is feeding the audio output back to this little $5 speaker I picked up at Target. It's also going into this, this little spare monitor I have here. On the Fire TV stick itself is a client app, which is kind of serving as a speech-to-text and audio delivery app using Amazon Poly, AWS Poly for voices. And what this does is as soon as the Fire Stick itself boots and becomes available, it's going to load up here in a second, and you'll see what happens. So this is the default Fire Stick interface, and in a few seconds the app itself will load and connect to a socket server running on the back end. Right now, as soon as it connects, it's receiving a payload of something it's going to announce. So it's basically going to get an SSML payload.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we have the honor of having Dave Young with us. He is a developer working on some cool projects. He loves swimming in lakes and skydiving without a parachute. Welcome, Dave.
So it received an SSML payload and ran that through AWS Poly from the location client side and put it over the speakers. I've also kind of started on a little menuing system that I can use with the actual remote that comes with the Fire TV stick in case I want to do volume up and volume down and things like that. Because this is an SSML payload, I can actually go in and change the voice and things like that. So I'm going to do that right now. That was the Emma voice, which is a English voice. So on the socket server side, I'm going to just change the voice that it's spitting out and restart the socket server, which should send a new payload down.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we have the honor of having Dave Young with us. He is a developer working on some cool projects. He loves swimming in lakes and skydiving without a parachute. Welcome, Dave.
Okay. So now, an important test is going to be, this system needs to run in headless mode, which basically means most of the time without a display. A location might choose to have it with a display. So basically, I'm just going to unplug the HDMI output, and I'm just going to power off the Fire TV stick and plug it back in again. Because technically, all that should be necessary is this equipment, a Fire TV stick, hooked up to an HDMI audio extractor or cable and some kind of speaker system. Obviously it won't be a little $5 Target battery powered speaker system, but something similar. A location could also choose to have this thing running on a display to show pictures and things like that, but it's mostly going to be used near the entrance of, you know, a big store like Target that has a lobby enclosed by two different sets of doors, and the user's going to use an app to specify what they want their announcement to be. So this is going to be a really neat way for you, if you're walking into a place, a restaurant or whatever, to hear a really cool announcement about yourself or your family, whatever. It'll be randomized, it'll be having sound effects delivered down, etc. And because I'm using Unity as a development environment, it will be able to have cool particle effects, lots of different sound processing if I want to do reverbs and all that kind of weird stuff. So right now this hardware setup is relatively inexpensive. It's the cost of the basic Fire TV stick and an HDMI audio extractor plus some speaker. So well under $100, and I can probably get that price down as well. So I think it takes about a minute for the Fire TV stick to...
Ladies and gentlemen,
there it is.
Today we have the honor of having Dave Young with us. He is a developer working on some cool projects. He loves swimming in lakes and skydiving without a parachute. Welcome, Dave.
There it is. So there's the socket payload delivered to the Fire TV stick and made an announcement that normally would have come through an app that the user said, hey, I want this to be announced when I walk in the door. And it definitely worked. This is actually the first time I've tried it without the display running. So the Fire TV stick has no problems running without being connected to an actual TV. All right, that's it, and we'll see you soon.